Hello, first grade. Today we're going to do a math lesson together, and we're going to talk about plane shapes and solid figures. So let's start with our plane shapes. We're going to describe them today. We're going to use words like sides, straight lines, and curved lines. Let's start with number one, circle. A circle can be described as a shape with no sides. Let's look at my green circle over here. I use a curved line to make my circle. Now let's talk about what straight lines are. I drew a little example over here. So all my black lines are considered straight. Now one of them's up and down, one of them's left to right, and even my diagonal lines or my slant lines are still straight. The lines that I drew in red are not straight. I drew another circle and I drew a wiggly worm. Those are not straight lines, those are curved lines. When we draw a circle, we use curved lines and no straight sides. Let's talk about number two now, a triangle. A triangle has three sides, and we can count them. 1, 2, 3. A triangle does not even have to have equal sides. As long as it's 3, it's a triangle. I'll show you an example right here. So here is an example of a triangle with 3 sides, but they're not equal in length. Different length, and it kind of looks like a flag right there. Maybe a flag that you'd put on the back of your bike. So a triangle has 3 straight sides. Number 3, a square. 4 equal sides. You see how I underlined the word equal? A square is a special kind of rectangle, and to make it a square, it has to have equal sides. That means the sides are the exact same length, and there's 4 of them. Number 4, a rectangle. A rectangle has 4 sides. Are they equal sides? Take a look. No, the sides are not equal in length. Rectangles can come on a lot of shapes and sizes, but it will always have 4 sides to make it a rectangle, but they don't have to be equal. Number 5, a hexagon. A hexagon, a regular hexagon, will have 6 equal sides. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 6, a trapezoid. A trapezoid has 4 sides. You look closely though. Are they equal? No, but there's 4 of them. 2 of the sides are slanted or diagonal. And the top one is smaller than the bottom one. Number 7, a pentagon. Now we didn't learn about this one very much in our math work, but a pentagon is a shape that we can use sometimes to draw a house. Now I tried to draw one and I didn't do very well, but I did make sure I had 5 equal sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they're actually not exactly equal because Mrs. Coppola couldn't draw it very well. The hexagon I traced. That was tricky, but I think I did good with my trace. Okay, I'm going to remove my plane shapes now that we know how to describe them. And I'm going to put up my sign that talks about solid figures. Now a solid figure is different than a plane shape. A plane shape is the shape of something, but it doesn't take up space. A solid figure is an item or an object that takes up space. So let's practice that. Draw a triangle in the air. The shape of a triangle with 3 straight sides. Didn't take up any space. Now I'll show you a solid figure that's a triangle. This is actually a triangular prism. Now I can describe this triangular prism by identifying flat surfaces and vertices or vertex. Now I said vertices because it means more than one corner. Let's read the definitions of our words before we go back to our solid figures. Flat surface. A flat surface, it is the side or face of a solid figure. And I drew a cube and I identified one of the flat surfaces. Now a cube has more than one flat surface, and we'll practice counting them in a minute. And on this side I have the word vertex. It is the corner of a solid figure. So I'll pick up this triangular prism again and I'll point to a vertex, a corner. Now I'm just pointing to one of them. But if an item has more than one vertex, we call it a vertices, which means more than one. Let's look at my example that I drew of a solid figure with the vertices. Well, first I drew a cone. That's my favorite one, right? Because it looks like an ice cream cone. I also saw a cone the other day that was a party hat. So either way, you've got fun, right? Ice cream or party hat. So on the drawing of my cone, I point to the point or the corner, which is called the vertex. There's only one, so on a cone, I call it a vertex. If I have more than one corner or vertex, I call it a vertices. And here I drew a rectangular prism. Now I identified the vertices in red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I drew that one lighter and I put a dotted line there because if I was holding that up, that's the side you would not see, but the vertex is there, you just don't see it. So let's take a rectangular prism right now, and I'm going to take the label off since we know what it is, so we can see our flat surfaces and our vertices a little clearer. All right, I'm going to describe this solid figure to you by telling you how many flat surfaces it has and how many vertices. I know that it has more than one. All right, so I'm going to hold it up and I'm going to start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 flat surfaces on my rectangular prism. It was hard to count and keep track of them. Now I'm going to count the vertices, which are a little bit easier. I'm going to face the square end of the rectangular prism to you. Let's count the vertices. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I flip it over. 5, 6, 7, 8. So my rectangular prism has 6 flat surfaces and it has 8 vertices. Now you could take a tissue box around your house that's either a cube or a rectangular prism, and you could count the flat surfaces or the vertices yourself. So when we have a solid figure, we can describe it using our 2 mathematical terms. Let's try the cylinder. Now the cylinder is unique because it has 2 flat surfaces that are circles on either end. But what do I call this space in between here where I've written the word cylinder? Well, I just call it a curve. I can't call it a side and I can't call it a straight line. It's a curved line. You'll notice the cone also has that kind of line, the curve to it. But the cone and the cylinder are a little different. They have things that are the same. They have a flat surface that's in the shape of a circle, but the other end is different. So there's something that makes them alike, and there's something that makes them different. Let's look at a hexagon today. So if I was just showing you the face of it, or one side of it, this would be my flat surface, and it's the shape of a hexagon. But this is actually a solid figure. Remember, if a solid figure comes in a 3D form, I can turn it around and I can see all the sides. So I could count my sides, and I can count my flat surfaces. And I can also count my vertices. Let's count vertices right now. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I have to flip it over. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So my hexagonal prism has 12 vertices. Wow, that's pretty cool. Let's look at our sphere. I think I have the sphere over here. How can I describe the sphere using the word flat surface or vertices or vertex? Well, I can say it has no flat surface, and I can say it has no vertex or vertices. So I can use my words to describe my solid figures. Let's try one more. Let's try the pyramid. This one I don't think this one was in our math workbook either, but pyramids are cool. So a pyramid has a square at the bottom. So it has one flat surface that's a square, but then look at these other flat surfaces. They're not the shape of a square, they're the shape of a triangle. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles, and then 1 square. So 5 flat surfaces altogether, but how many vertices? Well, let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 flat surfaces on a pyramid and 5 vertices. All right, guys, you're going to take your Topic 15 math test this week, and now you're ready for it. We will also be talking about all these ideas and words during the week as we review, and then you're going to take your math test online sometime this week. All right, see you later.